Um, built the house, which was very creepy because the house is remodeled, so I think because they don't want tourists there so much, so I wouldn't participate in something that the house owners don't want. Honestly, I'm very much into the girl that can stand up for herself, like the badass B-rolls. I'm definitely into play those. In Shuffle Buddies, my character, she stands up for herself, and she's like, she doesn't let these boys bully her around the film, and I think that's a very cool thing to play. And Ratchet and Clank, which will be coming out, my character is, she doesn't need a man to be like awesome, and she could do her own work, and I think that that's really cool. And in most, like in all Disney classics, which you grow up as a little girl and you watch, and those are supposed to inspire you and whatever else, you always see that the guy rescues the girl at the end, and I think that that's not necessary anymore, and that girls can take care of themselves. So hopefully I get to play a role like that. So basically Frozen. Get it for me.